I want to share with you a jaw-dropping story about how my mom ended up with a life-changing autoimmune disease known as Hashimoto's. My name is Justin Janoska, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because if you've gone through the same things as my mom, I have a live webinar that will show you the exact protocol I used to help my mom become symptom-free. If at any point you resonate with her story, click the link below to learn more about this webinar. And yes, the webinar is actually live with me. It is not pre-recorded. So let me get into her story. For as long as I can remember, my mom constantly needed to visit neurologists for her excruciating migraines. Nearly every other day, she was crippled from the sheer pain. Imagine me as a 5-year-old child who had a mom that could never leave her bed and muster up the energy to do anything with me. She didn't know what to do anymore, so she lived on all sorts of pain medications. My parents had just gotten married when I was born, but it turned south very quickly. My mom didn't know how to find joy and peace in her life anymore. Between the physical pain and the emotional pain within the marriage, every day was a fight to find hope and happiness. It was a bright, sunny Wednesday morning. The sun rays scattered across the bed. My mom was all alone in the house, and she was found sulking on the closet floor beneath 2 rows of medications. I was only 2 years old at the time when she made a decision that almost changed my life forever. She took the dozen of medication bottles she had, dumped them on the bed, and began swallowing each of them one by one by one. My mom reached a tipping point where she simply didn't feel worthy enough to live. But something stopped her from continuing further. She felt a wave of guilt and worry rush over her. What would happen with Justin? She asked. The thought of her leaving me behind when I was already felt left behind spared her life, and really mine too. But that night she became violently sick, throwing up aggressively, and felt like she had been stabbed in the gut. The ambulance arrived within minutes, and I watched her get carried away by the paramedics as they sobbed and screamed, feeling completely confused and scared of what was happening. I still have flashbacks of that night. Between the abusive marriage, chronic migraines, and whirlwind of anxiety, anger, and guilt, she had Hashimoto's for at least 20 years and didn't even know it. Sooner or later though, the non-stop stress she had been living with came down like an avalanche one day and catapulted her into full-blown Hashimoto's that the doctors were finally able to diagnose her with. After spending 6 years jumping around from one doctor to the next, only to be told to keep taking Synthroid or not being listened to at all, the fatigue, IBS, migraines, brain fog, hair loss, and weight gain got exponentially worse. She felt more hopeless and more miserable. I had just enrolled in graduate school to study alternative medicine for cancer when she was diagnosed. But after hearing all about these failures, I became incredibly frustrated. It made it my mission to help her find a solution to this. So I spent 4 years training with my professors, studying, researching, and reading papers all about Hashimoto's. I can't emphasize this enough. I was absolutely blown away by how conventional medicine was feeding her so many lies. There were so many hidden truths to this disease that she wasn't told about. Her naturopathic doctors weren't doing anything better for her other than giving her a bunch of supplements and telling her to cut out more and more foods. At this point though, from what I had learned, I knew wholeheartedly that there was more to Hashimoto's than healing a leaky gut, taking medications, taking supplements, and changing her diet, because that clearly wasn't working out for her. So I began integrating different strategies that addressed what really mattered the most: her immune system. I couldn't believe that no one had been doing this. After about applying this for consistently 3 months, you wouldn't believe it. Her thyroid antibodies got down below 100 for the first time in 6 years. Her bloating and constipation went away. She started losing weight again, and believe it or not, her migraines finally went away. The exact issue no neurologist could have figured out for her. I was in complete disbelief, but was so extremely excited. To this day, she is miraculously still in remission and no longer suffers. So many women, and possibly yourself, are struggling exactly how my mom did. I can promise you this, you're not alone with any of this. The fatigue, weight gain, and bloating are the most frustrating and challenging symptoms to deal with, but you don't deserve to live like that anymore. I've made it my mission to help women like you find relief and eliminate the symptoms once and for all. That's why I created the Get Me Off AIP protocol, which is the exact formula I used to get my mom the results she had been desperately searching for. Now I'm sharing it with you because I want you to have energy again, to feel comfortable and confident in your clothes, and to have your old life back again. How does that sound to you? You can have that. And I know that from the deepest place of my heart, you can, because if my mom could make it happen for herself after 25 years of health problems, so can you. So today, I am offering you a seat for my live workshop that shows you how you can use this foolproof protocol. All I need is 1 hour of your undistracted time. I will teach you through a live webinar the very secret behind why this protocol works, so you can start getting results immediately. And the best part is, it's super easy to follow. All you have to do is click the link below and you can reserve your seat right now. I want 2020 to be your year of transformation. I want it to be the best year of your life. I want you to have more energy than ever and feel amazing in your own skin again. And I have full confidence in your ability to make that happen. I would love to help support you in making that happen. And I hope you'll join me at the live workshop. Sending you peace and love. I'll see you on the other side.